Hello and welcome back to my farm, and it's time for my upgrade project video number 2, and I am about to open up the centerpiece of land here, and I need 22 each of the land expansion materials, and there we go, and lots of beautiful butterflies. So woohoo, another area done. Sweet. Now, what do I need for my next few areas? Quite a lot of resources still, and I'm going to get those again very, very soon. But in the meantime, I need to thank the people that have helped me out. So I'm going to show you their farms and talk about it a little bit more. So let's jump on over to the first person's farm and let's have a look. Now here we are at Ben's farm, and basically he's a level 28 player, so I'm not expecting much in relation to ornaments or decoration or what he's able to do here, but I'm still going to offer some advice from what I see. Now at the moment he's got all of his animal pens up in the top hand corner, and this can also mean that it's very challenging to actually get to that top corner one to actually do anything, because it can be quite challenging when you're trying to expand your farm to get to that place. Now, because he's only a level 28, he's got a lot of area that he hasn't expanded yet, and I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just leave that the way it is at the moment and then focus on that area later. Because what he's actually done is cleared most of his land and removed all of the trees and rocks that he had in this large area that he got when he first started. Now you'll see over on the left hand side here he's put his machines in the one hand corner. Now for me, when I look at what he's done here, I would maybe recommend changing the design and changing the layout, because you've got a lot of space here and everything feels cluttered in the two corners. Now my recommendation would be to use some more trees and to use some more bushes. Okay, you don't have to harvest the fruit, but you can use those as decoration. Now it is going to depend on his funds. Now if he has sufficient coinage, it's not such a problem, but if he doesn't, then I would still say move the machines around, spread them out a little bit more, create that template for when you do have the money to buy the trees to lay it out. And the same with the animal pens. Spread those out as well. Start building up your design for your whole farm concept. Now, because he's such a low level at the moment, he hasn't opened up his neighborhood, he hasn't opened up his town area. But you did notice that the boat had a tarpaulin over it. So this means that very, very soon he's going to be going to his fishing area. So sweet, he'll be able to collect some fish and then make some more products from those fillets, which is quite good. Now let's jump to Contour's farm here. Now he's a level 41. Let's have a look and see what he's got. So 40 deliveries in one day, 281 visitors maximum in one day, 32,767 roadside revenue in one day. That's not bad. Followers counts 3. Okay, and likes count 0. Now this is before the actual update that I've recently installed. Now, I actually do like this farm a lot, and I think the first person should copy a lot what you see here. Now, Contour's in one of my fan groups. Now, there are 28 of 30 members, and it's required level 30. So if you want to join one of my fan groups, do just search Red Knight. There are quite a few, and they're always looking for members. Now, at the moment, they don't have any trophies there, so maybe they're not doing so well, or on the competitive side they find it very, very challenging. Now again, that will depend on your neighborhood. Some neighborhoods are doing well, some neighborhoods not. It all depends on what they're able to do and their time. Now, many of these players are actually of a lower level, so that's not going to be a problem when it comes to the derby. You're still able to do a lot of the tasks, and especially those that are worth a lot of points. Now, being of a lower level, if you're doing the boat tasks as an example, it's not so challenging because the items are much easier to find and produce. Now, I do like that. I like the way that he's got the trees there and he's got that golden swing just sitting. And I bet he got that on the Wheel of Fortune. Lucky. I want to get one of those later. Now, this is what I really like about his farm. I love the way that he's using the trees and the machines together. Now, everything's nicely spread out. He's got the trees all separated there, pathway between it, and then the machines. Now, this is what I would hope the first person's farm I looked at kind of copies. Okay, there's a variation in pathway as it's going round, and each again of these paths is leading up to the machines. And we've got the smelters here. Now, because he's a level 41, okay, having 4 smelters is good, whereas the first farm doesn't need so many. Again, as you progress within the levels, you want to be adding more smelters maybe, but again, the choice is yours. Now, this is what I mean by basically spreading out the animal pens. That's much nicer, it's a lot easier to walk between them, and it gives your farm a nicer feel to it. And again, using the trees as a kind of border effect there just at the bottom, splits it up from where you've got your crops. Now, because he's a level 41, he's able to have more land. And again, I like the way that he's separated things. I kind of do this myself, and it makes it much easier for planting and for growing things. Now, because he's a level 41, his neighborhood's open as we've seen, and so is his town. So let's have a look at his town and see what he's done there. Oh yeah, I like the look of this. Now that's really cool. You've got your town pond with some benches, and it's very naturistic in its approach. Okay, I like the fact that you've got a blend of buildings with nature together. It's not overly decorated. The paths are perfect for this. They're not their thick, heavy ones. So this is a single path here, and it goes really, really well. Okay, he's not expanded the back part yet, but it doesn't need it at the moment. I like the way that this is currently laid out. Now, as you can see, he's upgraded some of his personal train already because he's got the golden carriage there. Now, he's still got a bit of way to go before it's fully upgraded, but again, there's no rush at level 41. Ooh, a floating treasure chest, and it's locked. That's a shame. Now, the beach is not done, and again, there's no rush to get that done either. He's only got a specific number of town buildings, so I can assume that he's not high enough in their reputation there yet. Personally, I wouldn't rush it, just take it slow and steady there. Now, overall, this is my favorite area of the farm, and I love what I saw there. And I thought that was really, really good. Now, I've jumped to his fishing area since it's open, so let's have a look, see what he's done here. Now, he hasn't opened everything up. Now, again, that's not a problem. You don't really need it. He's got enough there to be able to do any of the fishing events and to basically supply himself with fillets for when he needs to make something. Now, he's not done his lobster pool yet, and he's not done his duck machine either. Now, again, he's got a while to go before he's ready for that. Okay, I wonder what kind of fish he's caught. Let's go and have a look and see how he's doing. Now, because he's a level 41, he should have been able to do quite a few fish by now. And we can see here that he's got quite a lot already. So that's a lot of diamonds he's been able to pick up. But there's still a lot more that he's able to do. So that's one good thing about the fishing area. As he expands more, he's going to be able to get a lot more of these fish. Now, he's done the events a few times, and he's still got quite a few fish that he needs to catch. Now, maybe here, in relation to his fishing area, is not so important for him. But I like what he's got so far. Let's jump back. Now, as I said, my favourite part here is what he's been doing with his trees and machines, and I think that this is a nice design concept that other people could copy as well. So, Contour, thank you very much, and I've enjoyed what I've seen with your farm and your town and your fishing area. It's really nicely laid out. Now, the next farm I'm at is Santos Farm, and he's a level 52. And I recognise that logo as well. It looks very similar to mine. But he's actually not in my neighbourhood, he's in another neighbourhood. But I do like what I'm looking at here. So you've got the farmhouse with the swimming pool in the back, a nice golden well, 2 little pagodas, and some gramophones. But what have we got here? So 102 deliveries in one day, 1,681 visitors. Ooh, look at that maximum revenue. Very, very nice. He's in the neighbourhood and it's Red Knight's place. Yeah, okay, but not my one. This is another one of my fan groups. And they're always looking for regular players that do chat, so please do send them a message if you would like to join. And as you can see there that they haven't got any trophies etc. within the derby at the moment in that or at this stage in the video. But there are lots of people within that hood, so if you want to join one of them, please do send a request as well. Okay. Interesting. Okay, right, now as I said, I do like what I'm looking at here. It's interesting balance, the way he's put the pagodas, the gramophones, and the birdhouses just by his house. That's actually a nice design. But what has he done elsewhere? Let's zoom on out. Well, that's a lot of swimming pools. So 4 pools in the back there. You really enjoy swimming, so don't you? So I can imagine the whole family going over the back there and just jumping in. Now I'm not sure why there are 4 pools, but you've also got some toilets as well. Now I do like what he's done here. I've always enjoyed looking at the hedgerows that people do to separate the machines. This part here as you walk down the road is my favourite area, I think. I like the way he's using the lamppost with the flowers as well. Now as we come down here at the bottom, it's an interesting design the way he's using the wall as well. And he's been trapping the foxes. Now I trapped a fox the other day and it disappeared on me, so I wonder what I did wrong. Now this is so cool, using the land to actually spell out your own name. That's just showing off, old boy. Now what I would like to see is once he's planted his crops on his name, to actually video it as those crops grow, and then when they're ready, a nice kind of coloured pattern effect as all the letters light up. Okay, now this is really good as well. I like the way he's designed his animal pens, put them in there with the centerpieces all white straight down the middle. That did look good as well. Right, let's go and see what he's done to his town. What can I expect here? Okay, I can't see any decorations at the moment, so we've got a simple affair. Okay, right, he's kept his town very basic. Now, I think that's okay. Maybe at some stage in the future he will start to decorate. I think his focus here at the moment is basically just expanding some of the land. He's done one of the beach pieces and he's done a few of the other expansion areas. But he's not been wasting his money on too many decorations, which I think is important when you're still of this mid-level range. Still, he's a level 52, so he probably does have sufficient funds, but he seems to be spending most of his money within the farm location. That seems to be his bigger priority. Now, I enjoyed what I saw there. Let's go and jump to the next person. Now, this was Tamarama, and I like what I'm seeing here. Level 64, 63 truck deliveries in one day, 588 player visits, and 82,000 maximum revenue, 19 followers there. Nice. Now, they're in a neighborhood, and it's an interesting logo, and they're called the Crop Busters, and they've got 2 golden trophies there. Woohoo! And these are Canadian farmers. Wow, okay. Now, you've got quite a few high-level players there, down to the mid-range as well. So it looks like they're all working closely together, and a nice balance in mix between members and senior people. Now, these Canadian farmers are looking for one more person, so if you're in Canada, send them a request, and it's Crop Busters you're looking for. Now, let's zoom out on this farm and see what we've got. Ooh, I think I like what I'm about to look at here. Now, I like the entranceway to the farm. I like the way they're using the trees there. It gives it a really good balance. You've got trees around the outside and a really, really nice water effect using some flowers, a bridge over the pond as well. Ooh, yeah, I like that a lot. And I might actually copy that design later when I do my own farm, because I'm going to be changing that as well. Now, as we shift on round here, okay, there's a lot of open land and open spaces. So there's certainly a lot more that my friend can do here if they wanted to. But at the moment, I think it kind of looks okay. We don't really need to add too much more because this nice open effect is actually pretty good. Okay, they've got a lot more land that needs expanding. But again, it's well balanced, and I like the way that they've separated the land pieces just here. That's actually pretty cool in its design layout as well. You actually don't need to open up all the land if you don't want to. You can mix and match this expanded or unexpanded land with your normal farm design. Now we've got a nice pathway system here separating each of the animal pens, and the same with the crop areas. So everything's nicely boxed off. So I really do like what I'm seeing here. Now you've got your Derby machine unpacked, and we already know they're participating, but let's have a look at the town and see what's to be done here. And it looks like we've been decorating as well, but how much so? Now that's an interesting aspect there. I like the way that we've got the 3 benches there by the station, so you can imagine the people at the station here just waiting for the train to come along. Now, okay, we've got some decoration, not a lot. It's very simplistic, and basically there's still a lot of work that needs doing on this town area. But I don't think there's any rush. Some of the land's been expanded, some of it still needs to be done, things are spread out, so I can see in my mind's eye how this person wants to expand as they get their funds. Now they're using the pathway that's actually quite expensive as you add more and more pieces. So I can imagine there that they're saving up more cash to expand this area a little bit more at some stage. But I think maybe the farm area is their bigger focus, and I do like what I'm looking at here. And I would say maybe more work is what they're going to be doing here within this area. Right, now I've jumped to the next person's farm, and this says Little Man's Little Farm. And we've got a level 22, which is quite a low level still, so I'm not expecting much to be open or much to be expanded. But let's see what they've done. Now they've got their animal pens down at the one stage, and yeah, I'm getting some resources still. And let's buy everything else there, because I always think it's a good idea to help the lower level players. So that's pretty good. Now, as I said, I like the way they've got their animal pens straight down in a line there. They've put the machines around the edge. Now, I can imagine that as this person develops and opens up their land area, they put the trees in front like you see with some of the more higher level players, and then hide the actual machines behind all of the trees. Now, this is actually a good layout. It's very simple, it's not too cluttered, and it gives you a feeling that they're going to do a lot more. Now I might recommend more trees here, more bushes. This would give it a more nature kind of feel, and I think would make it a little bit more comfortable for this person. Wow, you've got a fox all the way at the back of the farm there. Cool, okay. Now the land expanded area has not been done. Some of the actual pens are not filled up yet, and again that's not a problem, but it still gives it a nice balance. And I've seen a lot of people do this. I like the way as well that they've actually separated one area for the animals, i.e. the pets, and put a nice fenced in area. This kind of stops the dog from wandering around the farm and makes you think more about your pet that's secured on a farm location, so it's not scaring the animals. The rest of the land doesn't need to be expanded at the moment, just leave that for much later, as I said earlier with another person. Okay, very simplistic farm, very simple layout, but a lot of potential. My only recommendation is maybe to add some more trees in there to give it more decoration, since you've chopped down all the original trees. Can't unlock the town, can't unlock the fishing area yet, because again, not a high enough level. But that's it for this video. Thank you very much everybody that I've portrayed here for helping me to expand the one area. You guys rock. See you all next time.